hottest takes about traveling is first impressions are everything. This is kind of like part two to the video I made yesterday. I don't know if this is just because of decisive or like who I am, but one thing about me is I can always determine like really quickly how I'm going to like a place. I love having my mind change, but it's honestly rarely happened. And I'm going to give you two examples. The first example is when I flew into Istanbul, I didn't know it at the time, but I gave the taxi driver the wrong address. And we basically ended up driving for like an hour and a half. I knew that that was the drive no matter what. So I honestly thought it was the right location because I knew it was an hour and a half drive from the airport. We get to the middle of nowhere and me and the driver like look, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, he looking at me, I'm looking at him, and we're both like, this ain't it. Granted, he's making money, but after an hour and a half, we get back on the road for 5 minutes and he's like, hey, do you want to like stop for something? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just trying to get to where I'm going. But he literally drove me another hour after that and never gave me a hard time about it. It was super nice. And even obviously offered to stop for food. Last night I flew into Greece and I Googled like best ways to get from the airport. And they were like, oh, you can just take like a registered taxi. It's just going to be a flat rate. So I was like, okay, cool. I walk out of the airport. I see the rates. They charge you based on like where you're going, where I'm at. So I look at the rate and there's like a rate for one person. So I know the dollar amount it should be because it's a flat amount. He gets me in his car, ends up dropping me off, and he's like, hey, do you have cash? And I'm like, no, just got off the plane, and I was in another country with like another currency. And then he goes, oh, it'll be 20 euros. And I go, I just saw on the sign when I left the airport that said it would be 17 euros. Shouldn't it be 17 euros? And he's like, oh, okay, I'll do 17 euros. I'm not saying that will be the indicator of my whole entire experience at Greece, but I'm saying the experience I had with that Turkish man in that taxi for 2.5 hours was exactly how my experience, how Turkey was. It like blew my expectations out of the water. I'm just gonna leave that there for y'all to do what y'all want to do with it.